Hello everybody, and today is the first crochet tutorial, and I've tried to hide this place but it still wants to be in the video, so we're just gonna let it be. What I'll be teaching today are basically crochet tools and then and terminologies. So let's get into it. For every crochet that starts, three major tools you need aside from the material. So you need crochet hook, scissors, and measuring tape. Now this is like my tool pack, and then everything else can be substituted for. This is my cutter. Like I said, if you don't have a starter pack, you can always use scissors and measuring tape. So I'm just going to bring out the major ones needed. Now, for every crochet, the most important crochet pin you need is your 4.5 and your 3 or 3.5. So this is my 3mm and 4.5. So here are the numbers. You can see number 4.5. So it's 3mm. So what's the difference is actually why it's called 3mm or 4.5 hook is actually the size of this mouth. And for bigger projects, you have bigger hooks. So forget my shabby way of keeping my hooks, but so I'll just put this aside. What determines the size of the hook you use is the type of project you want, the looseness of your stitch, your stitch. If you want it free, if you want it like to be very warm and cozy, then use a smaller hook. If you want it breezy, use a bigger hook. And there are some specific designs, some specific crochet stitches that are better with bigger hooks, which we'll get into probably in the next pack that I have. So there are a number of crochet stitches you can use, but the basics are half double crochet, double crochet, single crochet, which I will get into later in this package. So this is the beginner's package. So okay, so let's push this aside and let's go into the terminologies and for you to know more about yarn, the material you're using. So yarn basically is any spinned material per se. So there are different types of yarn. There's acrylic, there's cotton, there's wool. Wool is made from sheep wool. And there's also t-shirt yarn, there's fishnet, there's twine, there's so many things. But here I have examples of cotton, acrylic, then there's Nigerian acrylic. So I don't know if this for every Nigerian crochet, honestly, this is the best recommend for yarn, wool. And I would give you a free tip, once, because there are people that sell fake wool, and those ones tend to tangle more and their colors are not as bright as wool. So go to the page. They have like on their story highlights people that they deal to, so those are people I use specifically to get wool. So these are three different types of two different types. Actually don't have twine or t-shirt yarn right here, but you can Google that and know what it looks like. T-shirt yarn, fishnet, and I think macrame are majorly used for bags and stuff, so it depends on what you want to make. So let's go into ply. So ply is the number of strands that it's used to, that they twine together to give you yarn. So once you hear them say, if you're watching like another YouTube tutorial, they say 3-ply yarn, 2-ply yarn, this is what it is. So basically you get your wool like this, and I don't know if you can see, but you open it. Are you guys seeing? I hope you guys are seeing, because like my camera is like way up. So yeah, so we have, there are 3 strands. This is a 3-ply yarn. Yeah, so if you now double your yarn, yeah, you double your yarn, because most Nigerian crocheters, we almost all of us double our yarn depending on the style you want to make. You're getting a 6-ply yarn, okay? And then this is 3-ply. Let me see this one. I can't remember how I use this thing. That's a funny thing about all this. This one, let's see how many ply this is. This is 4-ply. This is 4-ply acrylic yarn. Yeah. Now let me see this one. I've not yet used this yarn. This is also 4-ply. 1, 2. This is 4-ply yarn with acrylic detailing. Metallic detailing. So these 2 yarns are from the US, so I'll just put that aside. What we'll be using for tutorials and everything is my Nigerian yarn. Now once you're starting how to crochet, I always advise that you have a dark colored yarn and light colored yarn, like white, milk and everything, so you know how to use white or black or navy blue to learn. So that 1, with white you know how to keep your hands clean, and 2, with black you know how to work with darker colors, because it's actually more tricky than using standard like regular colors like this. Yeah, so see my 3.5 hook here. Then so I'm going to give another tip for using yeye wool on Nigerian, because most of us double. Yeah, before I used to use like 2 balls of yarn at once, but to be more economical and to actually know how much yarn you use, you take the first one from outside, and almost every yarn has free whatever inside. So you just pull out, you tug, and you get the second one inside. So it's better to, even if you're like using American yarn and stuff, I'd advise you take the yarn from inside. Another reason why it's good, one major reason why you need to know how much yarn you use is for accurate pricing. So yeah, so let's get into it. Okay, so I have like a habit. So you guys like my tribe now, so you're going to get to know me more. I have a habit of tying my wraps into like little balls like this, because I don't like it like being left everywhere. I'm actually just even realizing that I have a nylon bag that I used to just drop like that, so it's easier to throw away, dispose, blah blah. So sorry, now that I've found my 3.5 mm hook, let's get into it. So let me just adjust this a bit. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, we'll start with, so there are 2 different ways of, there's so many ways of holding your yarn. Some people like to turn around their finger, but I don't encourage it. Why don't I encourage it? Because the blood flow, once you're doing like this and you're crocheting, you're gonna have marks on your finger, which, trust me, you don't want. And once the yarn finishes, you have to tug again and start crocheting. So how I hold my yarn and how I recommend you hold your yarn: under the pinky, over the ring, under the middle, above the index. Then this yarn is held with the thumb and the middle finger. Yeah, I hope this makes sense. and then so let me just do it again.
Under the pinky, over the ring, under the middle, over the index, then hold in between your thumb and your middle finger.
The index finger is like this, so this helps you adjust. Then you can always adjust like this, increase like this. There are two ways of holding your pin. Yeah, some people hold like this. It's called the this is called the knife. Yeah, it's called the pencil. I hold mine with knife method. So I hold mine with knife method. For beginners, know that your hook, this part should always face you. So you collect like this, so just so it's easy. Do you understand? Now, to start every crochet work, you need to tie a knot. I'll teach you two ways of tying a knot. The second way is the way, there are so many ways of tying a knot, yeah? But this is my way of tying my knot. The second method is the way I tie my knot. So you can either go like this, take the longer part over this part, yeah, over the short part, yeah, you have this now. Then you put this long part into this part, into that circle, and pull. Make sure this place is not too long. Okay, this is okay. Yeah, so let me do it again. You have your yarn, okay, you bend it, the long part over the short part. Then you take another part from the long part, put it through the circle, then pull. Okay, then like that we have this. So you adjust it to the size of your hook. Okay, let me show you how I do it with another one, with another yarn. How I mostly do my own, because so yeah, I do it fast. So I just go one, turn it, then pull through. So let me do it again, much slower this time. So I go under the yarn, turn the pin, and yarn over and pull through. It's the same thing, in my opinion. Yeah. So I said yarn over. Yarn over is collect, to go under yarn over. So that's another terminology. I will put that somewhere, maybe around here. Let's put yarn over. Yeah. Okay, so we have the knot now. So when we collect the yarn like this, it's called yarning over. So you yarn over, pull through. Yeah. Yarn over, then pull through this knot. So let me do it closer. This is better. So you yarn over. Remember, the hook is supposed to be facing you. You can see where my hook is facing. Sorry. Then it captures it and you pull through. Yeah, so you want to steady your hand. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through. So when you pull through, you don't go like this. You don't pull it extra. No, you keep your hand steady. That's one of the most important things about crocheting, keeping your tension steady. So how I know my tension is steady, I just make sure that this can move through very easily. Let me do it closer. It's moving through easily, and it's not like too much space. Imagine if you like too much space. It's just dangling. So you want tight enough that's moving through very easily. So you yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through. So this other part down here is what we call a chain. So let me see, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have a chain of 10. Yeah, we have a chain of 10. So this is terminology number 1, a chain. Okay, I think I will have to switch over to a lighter colored yarn because this brown is almost mixing with the color of my table. So let me just switch. So I'm going to do it again with white yarn. Maybe I'll just go over the steps briefly. So remember, we have one out here. So I basically look for, so you can see in this yarn, this place there's no hole. So this is the place I go for to get my second strand of yarn. I just dig in a bit. Sometimes I'm lucky, sometimes I pull out a whole lot of yarn. So it doesn't look like I'm lucky today. Sort of wow. So yeah, see the other one we're looking for here. So remember, under the pinky, over the ring, under the middle, over the index, in between your thumb and middle finger. Then your hook should be facing you. Then so you collect. This is another way. So I'm not going to do this like twice. So I usually do whatever I'm in the mood for. I feel like someone's saying please do it again, so let me just do it again. So I collect, pull like this, I put my hand through and I collect. So then I'll obviously reduce it. So you have a knot, you yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. I'm going to make a chain of 15. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, this is what a chain of 15 looks like with a 3.5 mm hook. Hands are different. Someone might do this and it's a bit tighter. So, but there's a way which we will get into later of making it almost the same thing. So this is what my 15 chains looks like with a 3.5 mm hook. So the first stitch I'm going to teach you after is the single crochet stitch. Yeah, a single crochet stitch, it's single crochet. So this is our foundation chain. Let me just add this. So I'll say chain 15, you can chain 20, but once you want to go in for a single crochet, you chain an extra one and keep note of where that extra one is, where your hand is now. So it's 15 plus 16, so you skip the 16 and enter through into the 15th one. So this is it. Yeah, it says chain, you enter at this place. You can see I tend to subconsciously hold this, which I think is good, because if you just, sometimes it just moves. So you can hold it, you can choose not to hold it. So you have 2 on your hook here, yarn over and pull through 2. So you enter this place, yarn over and pull through 2. Enter, yarn over, pull through. You have 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay. So I'll just do this to the end of the row. Remember to keep the tension steady. So you're not going, oh, then you're not pulling out. No, just let it be steady. And then we're the last one, so you just enter. Okay. Sorry, turn by itself. This is the last one. So for beginners, your foundation chain, you know how many you need the first time, yeah. So count when you're going back, so that you don't have less, or you make sure you don't skip any, because that's a mistake most beginners tend to make. They skip one. So for me, I can go back now. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's 15. But I recommend you count while you're doing it. Okay? You count and make sure you're going through every hole. Can you see how I go through every braid? I call it a braid. So to go to the next row, this is row 1. Yeah. To go to the next row, you chain 1, turn your work, let the part you're supposed to be working on always face. So after I chain the 1 and turn, for single crochet, enter this one, this very first one. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pausing. 15. So you chain. I would recommend for a beginner do like 10 to 15 rows, so you steady your hand on it. So entering this first one. 1. I think this place is loose, so you go back and you adjust it. Yeah. And then it's this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, where are we going? 15, the last one. So I'm going to do this up till 10 rows, then come back to it. So sometimes it's hard as a beginner to know to keep count of the rows, and that's where you need a stitch marker. So before I continue, let me just show you what a stitch marker is. These little like pegs, yeah, or often pins are stitch markers. So let me just use a darker one since I'm using white. It's how I choose to arrange mine. So a stitch marker, you can use a stitch marker to example to mark. So you know that this is 1 row, this is 2 rows, this is 3 rows. So you can mark where you started, the first row, yeah. That was foundation chain I did, so it's the first row. This is the second row, this is the third row. Another use of a stitch marker is so that once you turn your work, so you can leave it here or you can choose to proceed. Once you turn your work, so you know where you're putting in the stitch when you're coming back. So After you turn your work, remember, so this place, so you just put at that first stitch. So when you come back, you know where you're supposed to put your last stitch. So let me just do it fast and going in for row 4. So I'm just going to my row fast. So you now know that this one will enter where the stitch marker is. So your final stitch for this row will be. And so you see. But if you don't have a stitch marker, I'm going with yarn of another color. So I'm going to use red because red is like really bright. I just got a bit of a red. Yes, I'm going to mark this place, so I'm just going to remove this stitch marker and assume, let's pretend I want to put this, what was here. I'll do it with a thread. So you go in this one and you pull your yarn through. Sorry, that was close. So you just pull your yarn through. There you go. You have a stitch marker, but I would suggest you get a stitch marker. It should be about, I think, 1,000 naira for, or 700 naira for a pack of 20. Yeah, I think 20. Yeah, so I'll be back once I've reached. So now we have 4 rows. I'm going to be back when I've reached 10 rows. Okay, so this is how what my work looks like at the end of 10 rows. Yeah, so that's one thing about single crochet. It's very like sort of like tight per se, so that's why it's sort of folding. So if your hand is very tight, you find that it's like this. So yeah, I didn't need my stitch marker so this is where I originally stitch marked it. Then you can see that my ends are straight. Hold on, let me show you. Ends are straight. You see, so I'm just going to remove the stitch marker. You see this side too is straight. Now I'm going to show you how to end the work. So to end your work, you just chain 1, tug at it so it can be tight. You can see it's tight here, and cut. Then pull this one out. Obviously, you don't want like this thread sticking out and stuff. So I'm going to teach you how to neatly make it disappear. So you need a smaller hook for it, yeah. So you can take it through the back, understand? Just find a way to hide it, you understand? Find a way to hide it. You can hide it going like this, or you can just do it diagonally. Yeah. So for me, I want the one that's faced where I am. So this is the front. See, nothing is showing. And let me hide this one and take it to the back. So I'm just going to. So you just use your own discretion for this. So you just, after you hide it, this is going to be the back of the work. Front of the work. So this is part one of single crochet. So you can use, if you wanted to like go forward and make it back, because this is, you can continue going straight and you'll have a muffler. Yeah, just go for as long as you want it to. Let's measure the work. This measures 3 inches by 2.5 inches. Slightly okay. Let's cut 2.4 inches. So this is 3 inches. You can go on until it's about 15 inches or 20 inches for a muffler, depending. 20 is actually not much. You can go for about 40, 60 inches, depending on what you want. Yeah, so this is single crochet. Then, yeah. So in the next videos you're going to watch, I'm going to show you how to increase and decrease the single crochet.